What is my lecturer saying? What the fuck is this, man?
All right, kids. So I'm going to introduce you to this really cool thing called.
So, you like?
All right, kids. Welcome to 101. Anyways, George Floyd. No.
She's not blinking. She's not moving. She's not doing anything.
You're already in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Damn,
101. You already have a lobotomy. Sir, please stop flirting with fellow lobotomy patients. What the fuck was that? Dang, you sure you need to be in Fent 101? You look to be pretty good already. I don't know. Go to the next slide. This is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. No idea why that 12's there.
Other 12 parts of JoJo's, maybe?
Not even remotely close. There are 9. And the 9th one is ongoing.
So, we are still learning about this. That's great. That's amazing.
It's still going.
That's
still
amazing.
Going pretty well.
What are your thoughts about this stock image scan?
Now, I already told you. She already got the lobotomy. Yours is next. But, you're in this class. I already know you want a lobotomy. All right. I didn't finish, part 4 and down. Don't worry about it. We'll get to that one later.
I reckon they could not see that.
Good. You saw nothing. You saw nothing, bitch boy. So we're only going to go through Phantom Blood to Stardust Crusaders. As you can tell by the listing here, the names become weirder and weirder. They each have a reason. Except for Jojo. I don't know the reason behind that one. I can't say. I haven't actually read it. One of my friends has. He just said about reading it, don't. All right. Part 1, Phantom Blood. It's the first one. It's the simplest. No, yeah, it's definitely the simplest one.
That seems to normally be the case. I mean...
Yeah, but when dealing with JoJo's, it gets worse. So much worse. Oh, believe me, once we get to stands, it gets bad.
Now,
yeah?
I feel like I should explain kind of where I am in my understanding of JoJo's.
Uh-huh.
I have seen, like... I haven't seen any of it, but, like, I know some of it through osmosis.
I would recommend watching it. What was really funny about you talking about it was you're like, yeah, because I know I'm not going to be watching it for the plot. And I'm like, motherfucker, what else are you going to be watching it for?
Because the show seems insane and hilarious.
Yeah, it gets more insane, but it like, depending on how willing you are to put up with stuff, it's cool. If you, like, watch Phantom Blood and you're like, man, I hope everything is like this. All right, easy summary. A British vampire wants to claim the fortune of his adoptive family and kill them all. Really basic, really simple for JoJo's. All right. Main protagonist, I love how that was the cleanest, like, JPEG I could get. It looked perfectly fine, like, on my computer, and the moment it's on anything larger than my laptop, it's, like, scuffed to all... Is it bad that that was the most, like, the nicest, like, PNG I could find that wasn't just a hazy screen cap of the anime?
It's okay, we all still remember our boy, Jean Lafouille from the Sly Cooper one, if you remember him, who looked like who looked like he was currently being digested.
Yeah. Alright, so our main boy, Jonathan Joestar, first JoJo, main protagonist, he is a very clear, like, gentleman. He's nice, he's noble. This is only kind of repeated with the other main characters. Some of them get, like, progressively more unhinged.
I think the most terrifying thing I'm seeing here is build like a gorilla, yet agile.
Yeah, no. Very, yeah, so he is, I didn't put any, like, measurements. He is 6'5", and I don't recall if it gives a weight, but you can tell just by the fact that, like, look at this man's fucking, like, calves. Look at him. Look at him. That is gorilla stature. And that is like the only thing that gets quote unquote better about Araki's character design. They go like the moment part 3 ends, they go from built like this to like vaguely normal.
Well, I mean, they're all still kind of Dorito men from my memory.
No, it gets better. But also like, well, I was gonna say their stature for the most part gets better. I remembered a character from part 4, and that's why I'm like, he's taught the power of Ripple by a man named Will A. Zeppeli. We'll get to him. Ripple is anti-vampire ability. It harnesses life energy, cool ability, allows you to do cool stuff.
Yeah.
You can jump super high, like cling to walls, melts vampires, like a flamethrower melts. My lawyer has advised me not to finish this joke.
That relatable moment when you're in a lecture and your professor just straight up goes, "I have a flamethrower that I melt." Joke redacted.
This joke has been expunged by the Chinese Communist Party. All hail Xi Jinping.
I thought you were about to make a joke about Twitter. This joke has been censored by.
This joke has been censored in your country or whatever the pop-up
Yeah.
is. Yeah. All right. Usually, I saved the antagonist for like last, but we gotta get to good old Dio Brando.
Dio is one of the things that I know by name.
Yeah, because
I know some of it.
He's the villain in 2 completely different parts. This is him as he appears. This is one of his outfits. I absolutely adore the pants and how they are actively flaring out.
Character design wise, this is good. What the fuck is this outfit?
That's just Araki. Like, I will say, the outfits do not get better. they get like worse.
Like, I don't hate it, but it's not. Like, it's not bad. It's just very avant-garde.
Yeah, that's his thing. Dio's the main antagonist. Incredibly selfish and cruel, manipulative, just a real bastard. He acquired vampiric abilities through the power of the stone mask. What's the stone mask? Exactly what it sounds like. It is a mask.
So it's just a stone mask.
It is a mask made of stone that when you put blood on it, these spikes come out from the side and clamp on your head and make you a vampire.
Okay, so it kills you when you put it on.
You don't die. He figures that out the hard way. We'll get to that.
So are vampires undead in this universe?
Well, yes, they're still undead. Well, because there's different kinds of undead. There's vampires, there's zombies. We'll get to the other guys, which technically aren't even undead. As talked about in the summary, he wants the destruction of the Joestar bloodline. He has his reasons for that. They're not great. It's just, man, as somebody who grew up poor, I fucking hate rich people. And also, Joseph vaguely slighted this man. And as such, he's like, fuck that guy.
So he does the Twitter crash out equivalent.
Yes,
and just is like,
100%.
Fuck this man, I fucked this bitch, fuck him.
Hilariously enough, yes. Not technically. He stole... Okay. Not listed here. There's a girl by the name of Irina, who is... Erina, who is Joseph's love interest. Dio steals her first kiss just as a fuck you. And then when Irina proceeds to...
It was me, Dio, right?
Yes. That is where that comes from. And then when Irina washes her mouth out with, like, a dirty puddle, I think Dio just kicks her? Like I said, just real, like, any negative trait you can assign to Dio, or to, like, anybody, pretty much applies to Dio with, like, maybe a few differences. Certified dog killer. Yeah, so multiple times, I think.
Oh, I assume this is a we'll get to that.
Well, it happens at like the very start of the series. Uh, Joseph has a dog named Danny. I think it's after he like beats Dio in a fight. Dio tosses Danny in a box into the furnace. So when the butler goes to turn it on,
So did the butler just not hear the
oh
dog?
no, he heard it after it was on, and then by the time he gets the dog out, dog's just dead. He's because he hears like scratching after he turns it on. He's like, "What the
I
fuck?"
feel like you would hear more than scream.
Yeah, you'd think that the dog did not make a peep until he turned it on. Just dead
Maybe
quiet.
this dog wanted to fucking die. Maybe this dog was just like, fuck this, get me out of here.
Joseph, the accident was 10 years ago. You have to let me go. No. Oh yeah, this happens later, but I wanted to put it here now just to emphasize like Dio is just a real bastard, just evil to the core. When he became a vampire, as a vampire, he zombifies a mother and that mother then eats her baby.
Okay.
Yeah, no, just dog killer, baby eater, like I said, the worst possible things you can imagine, Dio. Heartless. Uh, it's Will A. Zeppeli.
Alright, yeah.
Will Antonio Zeppeli.
It's
Can
wild.
you guess where he's from?
It is wild to me that this is the best fit I've seen so far, and it looks like he's the Monopoly man, but whiter.
He is the most Italian version of the Monopoly man. No, he's the
I could tell he was a.
no kidding. Will Antonio Zeppeli, no kidding. He's the tutor of Jonathan Joestar, absolute master of the Ripple. He has made it his mission to destroy vampires ever since his dad became a vampire and tried to kill him. He's just a quirky guy sometimes. He has the like Master Yoda approach of teaching where he just does a bunch of weird random shit that ends up actually helping. Like on their travels, he's like, "Okay, Joseph, you want to master Haman? Here's this wine glass. Don't spill a single fucking drop. Anyways, go fight Jack the Ripper who's been turned into a zombie." Yeah, all that happens. He does it. Jonathan kills Jack the Ripper. That's lore now.
I am not surprised, but also, yeah.
Sorry, Jack the Ripper, who was hypnotized by Dio and then turned into a zombie.
Well, I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. You can go to the next slide. This is what I was talking about when I said better fit. Robert E.O.
Yeah, that is actually the
Speedwagon.
best fit I've seen so far. Damn, man is dripped.
He's dripped to shit.
He
Best
makes
friend
my,
of Jonathan
He makes my
Joestar.
hair look fucking awful.
Yeah, no.
Which
best
is
friend
hilarious.
of
It's like
Jonathan
almost the
Joestar.
same.
He's the best friend, grade A wingman, literal best friend you could ask for. Would literally die for his buddy. Initially tries to mug him. The way he meets him is as Jonathan is going to save his father. We'll get to that. Speedwagon and some thugs are like, "Give me your money." And when Jonathan shows his character trait of being really noble, Speedwagon straight up says like, "I will not let you boys lay another fucking finger on this man. I will fight and die for this man." He has an odd job hat. Do you know what that means? Like odd job specifically in quotes.
Is it like the hat you throw with the blades?
Yep.
I only knew that because of Mythbusters.
I mean, I'd rather you know it from James Bond, which is what it's from, but like,
Yeah,
you know,
very
we'll
true.
take what we can get.
I did know that it was from James Bond because that's probably why they discussed it.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Disgusted. All right, buddy. All right, Squeaker.
I love when my teacher fucking points out my voice crack in the middle of class. God damn. I'm filing harassment claims as we speak. How do you feel? Do you feel harassed?
You can ask her all you want. The lights are on, but nobody's home.
I'm gonna need to answer that question, or I'm gonna shove this microphone where the sun don't shine.
Somebody already beat you to the punch, bud. But no, so that hat, I think it's that hat, or it might be a slightly different hat. The brim literally pops off, and there's just saw blades underneath. This man, when he shows up, starts doing like tricks with it, like spinning it all around. He's like making it go up his arm around. Like he's going absolutely sick nasty with it.
Okay, so he's one of those kids who has like the fucking fidget knives. Who?
Oh, I
I'm
thought you were
like,
gonna
what
go
the
for
fuck?
like the what were they called? The fushigi, the balls that were just like it was just sleight of hand. If you knew sleight of hand, you could do it.
Yeah.
But it was just like the
I mean that too. That also works. I was just going for knives in general.
yeah, no, like the kids who have like a butterfly knife. Yeah, he's doing that with his hat. Next slide. All right. Real quick, I love how the quality goes down as you
Yeah, we have like
We have
720p, 480, 200,
maybe 20 if you're lucky. All right.
DPI 4.
George Joestar, father of Jonathan, he's like really hard on his son compared to Dio, but he has like a good reason behind it. For some reason, people will say like there's no good fathers in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure when this guy's only crime is like being a little harsh. We have Dario Brando, the father of Dio Brando. Yeah, he's just an abusive alcoholic. It's no wonder Dio turned out the way he did.
I mean, again, like I said, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, no, really. And then Ton Petty, Dyer, and Strizo. Can you
Wait,
Yeah?
wait, you
Yeah.
cannot just skip over Ton Petty.
I did no, I said Ton Petty. Ton Petty, Dyer, and Strizo. Can you guess the musical reference of Ton Petty, sometimes spelled Tom Petty? Exactly.
Alright, okay.
All right. So, Tom Petty's right there. Nice old guy. The
Fair enough.
tutor of Will A. Zeppeli, and then the guy with the like absolute oh gosh, what's his name? Like Guile from Street Fighter, like
Yeah, yeah. I
haircut.
see you, I see you, I
That's
see you.
Dyer. Don't worry about Dyer. However, the guy in the back, that is Strizo. Or if you're, I think it's in the dub. Maybe he's named Straits. Dyer Straits.
Dyer
Yeah,
Straits,
yeah.
yep.
See, there you go. Yep. All right.
Oh, yeah, because I imagine Strides is, yeah, probably translates, yeah.
Like I said, real hard to figure out what the musical references are. But yeah, Strizo becomes important in part 2. The other two, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them.
So he's a surprise thing that helps us later, apparently.
Helps is in quotation marks, but yeah. All right, real beginning of the series, like gotta go quick. So George Joestar and his wife, guy with the mustache, are involved in a carriage crash,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife dies. So now it's just George and baby Jonathan.
Okay, wait. When is this taking place? Because why the fuck are they?
1880.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
Uh,
explains a lot. Because you had not said that yet.
The years really don't end like this is the only time, but I think that's just because like low tech, but after part 2 it really doesn't matter because part 2 features such time placing individuals as the fucking Nazis. So really not hard to figure out what time period it's taken place in.
Yeah, yeah.
If you still are somehow lost, 1938 to 39. So this is 1880. I think technically instead of carriage, it says like a slightly different word, but you get the idea. It's
Yeah.
horse-drawn. Dario discovers the wreck and you can see I put it in quotate or in parentheses, was attempting to loot the wreckage. He starts trying to he takes the ring off of George's wife's finger. He's like fiddling around, gets to George. George opens his eyes and is like, "Oh, thank you. You're trying to save me," and stuff like that. And Dario's just like, "Yes." So
I was absolutely trying to save you and not robbing your ass.
George ultimately kind of understands. He knows he's not stupid. But he gives him the ring anyways to like pay his way out of prison and hopefully do something for himself. He doesn't.
Yes.
Dio gets adopted by the Joestars after his father mysteriously dies. Just, anything could have. Yeah, I put it in here. I remember. Dio immediately attempts to break Jonathan's spirit by killing his dog and turning his friends against him.
Yep.
Like I said, real piece of shit. Just not a good person.
So how does he turn his friends?
Just the usual gossip, saying bad things about him. Like, literally, you are asking how the guy who one of his, sole character traits is being manipulative.
I'm laughing
people.
because my brain immediately wanted to relate this back to VTuber drama.
No, stop. Be normal for enough.
I have been brain rotted.
No, you haven't. How many skibbities are in an Ohio Phantom tax?
You seen
Checkmate,
this shit? You seen
liberal.
You hear this shit?
All right. Anyways, Jonathan beats the shit out of Dio, and that sets a deep-seated hatred in Dio for every single Joestar. Also, let me note, very American, British, old-timey last name, Joestar. Go ahead, Mr. Joester.
Oh yeah, because
I didn't go too much into those. Next slide.
Joester.
Joester.
Stone mask.
Yeah, the stone mask ends up being important because during that fight, some blood gets on the mask. It falls off of the wall that it's on, and the spikes shoot out. And both Dio and Jonathan are kind of just like, huh. Jonathan does his own little investigation into it. Dio's hatching a plan. He's thunking. He's been biding his time.
Mm-hmm.
George has been getting increasingly sick, to the point where he's bedridden. Jonathan believes it's poison, goes out to go to an apothecary and get to the bottom of it. It's while out that he meets Speedwagon, who decides to join him. Doesn't do it enough justice. Like I said, it is Jonathan blocks a couple hits and is like, I dare not harm you, because I'm just doing what's just. And Speedwagon's like, that's base as shit. Meanwhile, Dio is just like, oh man, gotta get rid of Jonathan somehow before he figures it out. Looks at the mask and is like, decides to just test it on a random homeless man who's badgering him, just yelling at him. He's like, all right, fuck it. Homeless guy turns into a vampire, which scares the shit out of Dio, until the homeless guy gets dissolved by the sun, and Dio's like, They go back to the Joestar mansion. Jonathan is not only back with Speedwagon and a bunch of cops, but also he has with him the guy at the apothecary who sold Dio poison.
Yeah.
So they've got everything, and Dio's like, well, shit. Goes to stab Jonathan. George takes the blow and fucking dies. So while Jonathan's holding his dying father in his arms, it's like, oh, this can't get any worse. Looks over, and Dio takes the blood that's on his hand, rubs it on the mask, and turns into a vampire. Kills all of the cops. Jonathan ends up burning down the mansion to try and kill him. Leaves him like impaled on a statue. While digging through the wreckage, the apothecary guy finds the mask, and then Dio just and turns him into a vampire, or I guess a zombie technically.
Yeah.
He comes back literally only at like the very end.
Okay.
Next slide. So on his way out of town, Jonathan's like, "Oh fuck, I gotta stop Dio because he's alive."
Yeah. It's cause zombie.
Cause vampire.
Yeah, vampire. Right.
He meets up with Zeppeli, and Zeppeli's like, "Hey kid, you want to see something fun?" Unbrace Jonathan's arm that he broke in the scuffle, and is like, "I'm gonna teach you about Ripple. You want to learn vampire killing magic? Let's learn vampire killing magic."
For no particular plot-related reasons.
No, he knows about Dio, or at the very least, like the stone masks. So he's like, "Oh, you have a vampire problem?" It's like a Billy Mays pitch, just like, "Man, do you have vampire problems? Do I got the solution for you?"
Vampires hate this one
Vampires
trick.
hate this one trick. It's too bad they figure out how to work around it later.
I would be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah. So throughout their journey, Zeppeli's like constantly taking opportunities to train Jonathan. On their way to what they believe to be the location of Dio. Or I believe it's not even that they think it's the location. I think it's that Dio hypnotizes a kid to like steal their luggage. So I think that's when they steal the luggage, or it's later. They get there and they're like, "Oh man, this sucks." Look up and see Dio stanced on a rock, and they're like, "Fuck." Dio resurrects a bunch of zombies. Among them are two named zombies named Bruford and Tarkus. I remember Bruford becomes Blueford in the dub. I do not remember what Tarkus's name becomes.
All I can think of when I hear Tarkus is just fucking Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Marth Tarkin. Yup, that's his name. Good enough. Bruford is unlike the other zombies who are kind of like feral and evil.
Yeah.
He has a sense of honor. So he turns to Dio and is like, "I want to engage Jonathan in single combat." And Dio's like, "Fuck, all right, bud."
Okay.
Sure, knock yourself out. Bruford loses pretty bad. However, because of, and I think this is like the one time we see it actually do this, because of the way Hamon works, sorry, that's the Japanese. Because of the way Ripple works, it brings back Bruford's soul, and Bruford's like, "All right, before I go," takes his sword Luck, makes like a pea out of blood to make it pluck, and then is like, "All right, you're gonna need this. Peace." Does the like dark souls turn to dust? Now Tarkus is a completely different beast entirely. He's a big lad, real strong. He ends up pursuing them to a cave where, let's go to the next slide, see how that turns out. Zeppeli fucking dies.
I like how if I tried to understand what the fuck is happening spatially in this image, I fucking can't.
Okay. I can tell you actually. He leads him into a room where basically two combatants are like locked in, and they have chains, like literally like iron chains around their neck.
Okay, that explains the man in the background.
That is Jonathan.
Yeah.
So it's restricting his breathing. Using Ripple is all about life energy. It's all about your breathing. So he can't effectively use his super cool zombie killing ability.
You could just call him on. I know this much about it, yeah.
Because I it's like a tick at this point. Zeppeli's like, "Shit, I gotta help him." Goes in there. Tarkus wraps some of the chain around Zeppeli's like midsection and just yanks it like he's starting a lawnmower. And as you can see, significant gap.
I didn't even notice the fucking hole in this man's fucking chest.
That is not a hole. That is a straight cut. This man
Yeah.
gets sliced in half. Zeppeli, as his like last dying breath, gives the rest of his Haman to Jonathan to give him the fighting edge. He kills Tarkus, but like Zeppeli's still like very much fucking dead. I believe Speedwagon in his honor ends up taking the hat. The top hat. Something to remember him by.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I did recognize that because like I've
Yeah.
seen that before. I've seen that motherfucker before.
Yeah. I still love looking at this picture. All I can hear is the kazoo like as it just shows him. So the group is reduced by 1. That sucks.
Yeah. Okay.
But onto the final confrontation at this like small London town. You know, because London has, you know, no shortage of those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Especially
No,
in
all have different.
1880.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
The remnants of the group track him down, where he's turned like a solid. Off the top of my head, it's a tough fraction, but like maybe about a little over a quarter of the town into zombies. So it's here they meet with Ton Petty, Dyer, and Strizo. Yeah, I didn't have enough time to like put in all the pictures. I should note Dyer attempts to take a shot at Dio, but is swiftly dealt with. He gets killed in like 10 seconds. He jumps in the air and does like a straight kick. Dio grabs him by the legs, like by the feet. Dyer uses his signature move, the Thundercross split attack, where he literally like his legs forcing Dio's arms apart, crosses his arms like this, and they start crackling with electricity. And Dio's kind of like, oh man, that sure does suck. Anyways, freezes Dyer's body up to his neck and just does this, shattering him and just chucking his head away. Dyer's head lands in a like not a rose bush, but like a bunch of roses in like a pot. Dyer fills a rose with Haman, spits it into Dio's eye, and then dies. Dio literally like looks over and was like, "Sucks to be you, but like fuck you," and he just dies. So Jonathan uses pluck, that sword that he got from Bruford, and his other Haman abilities, and like just fucking annihilates Dio. I mean, we see his body like crumbling as he falls into a river. Jonathan returns home, is like, all right, I gotta take this seriously, marries his childhood sweetheart, and the last thing we see is them departing on a cruise for their honeymoon. They're gonna go to America and have a nice honeymoon. Really live happily ever after. If you would go to the next slide. Except psych, Dio's not fucking dead.
I assumed not because he comes back.
Part 3, but like he is like reduced to a head carried around by one of his subjects. Hey, you remember that guy from the apothecary, like all the way at the very start, who sold Dio the poison?
Yeah, does he have the head?
He does. It's like a head in a jar. It is a head in a jar. The dude's name is Wang Chen. He's just holding it with both fucking arms, just like.
I mean, if you want anybody to hold your dead body, I think it would be the apothecary man named Wang.
Yeah, can you tell what nationality he is? Yeah. So if the need be, his coffin that he snuck aboard in is literally like blast proof, like just straight up, like super hard to destroy. Using what little vampire abilities he has left, he's able to mortally wound Jonathan. Jonathan, however, using Wang Chen's body, is able to basically set the ship to explode. And you might say, what about the other passengers? Dead or zombies? Because, you know, Dio's aboard.
Yeah.
So the only people left on this boat are Jonathan, Dio, Arena, and like this baby who got orphaned. Can you guess how the baby got orphaned? I'm not going to give you enough time to answer. The answer is zombies. So Jonathan just dies holding Dio's head. And it's funny because Dio as a head is like talking about how he'll destroy the Joestar bloodline. He's like villain monologuing. Notices Jonathan isn't replying, looks up. Jonathan is staring blankly into the void, having died from his wounds because he has like multiple punctures in his neck. And Dio's just like, bro, stop playing. Bro, stop playing. Stop playing.
He's like, I did not mean to do this. I did not mean to do this. Oh, God.
Ain't no fucking way. When you hit someone in the neck, they bleed to death.
When you sever their fucking main artery.
Yeah, that was also a big problem. Jonathan couldn't use Haman because Dio had shot him in the neck using his vampire abilities. So Haman's off the table. Arena escapes in the coffin that Dio used to sneak on board. You know, the one that could hypothetically survive a fucking boat exploding. She gets rescued later. You can go on to the next.
I like how they made it explosion proof just because Dio was like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Dio was like, I'm making sure I am extra prepared. We're gonna make sure this coffin could like survive a nuke.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, we would not get that until after part 2. Battle tendency. Average American male has to stop the world from ancient, like, basically Aztec beings who want to become the ultimate life form.
Yeah, okay, so now we're getting into this stuff that I've vaguely heard, yeah.
Yeah. If you've heard stuff, like, you've definitely heard at the very least, like, vague snippets of parts 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Anything after that is probably just fucking uncharted territory. You can go to the next. All right, this is Jonathan's grandson, Joseph. Go ahead, Mr. Joester. Technically, we haven't gotten to that guy yet. I did not put him on the slide. I can absolutely cover him very quickly. He is like the exact opposite of Jonathan. He's very like aloof, goofy, and hot-headed. Where Jonathan was always very like noble and wanted to do things by the books, Joseph is very much willing to like cheat or like trick people. It has its limits, but like he's still very much a like underhanded individual. However, he still has enough like care for his family and friends to where when this pickpocket's getting harassed by cops, he like steps in. And when Speedwagon's back, by the way, he's still alive. When Speedwagon and his Robert E.O. Speedwagon and the Speedwagon Foundation. Yeah, the Speedwagon Foundation officially covers like animals, plants, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Some archaeology in there. Yeah, it also covers the supernatural, but nobody else except for like the Joestars know about that.
I imagine they like advertise this publicly and everyone else is like, what the fuck are you knowing about, huh?
When you sign on for certain parts of the job, it's like, are you okay with fighting vampires? And they're like, fighting fucking what?
They're like, who? Who?
Well, what now? No, as he progresses throughout the story, he does get some kind of sense of honor. He's not always just little shit. I say little, I think he's like 6'2". It follows the trend of Araki making characters and making them like 6-something and like over 200 pounds.
Yeah. I will state, this fit is far better.
That's not even his best fit. It's his most iconic one.
I'm just comparing it to the, what we had last time.
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, this is, of course, later. It is later enough from 1880 to 1938.
Yeah.
His whole shtick is he's known for being able to predict his opponent's next move. You've seen this before. Your next line's gonna be, and he'll say something, they'll say the exact same thing, and then be like, that's his whole thing.
I feel like there are so many better ways to use that ability, but
well, because it's not actual like premonition. He's just kind of smart, and purposefully trying to like get in their heads. Remember, he's a
Yeah.
trickster. He is a goober. Absolute goblinoid.
He is a bard build for sure.
Oh no, 100%. He is bard with like exactly a couple levels in like divination wizard. We'll get to where you'll need divination wizards. So, Caesar Antonio Zeppeli. He's the grandson of Will A. Zeppeli, like equally as hot-headed as Joseph. They are both just like at each other's throats for a while. He has a lot of pride in the Zeppeli name to the point where he believes that at first just what he got from meeting Joseph, he thinks Will A, like, he doesn't deserve the sacrifice that Will A. Zeppeli made. He's a bit arrogant, a bit, he's a bit overconfident in his abilities. I'm sure that's not going to come back to bite him later. Knock on wood. He's trained in Haman by Lisa.
Yes.
That's her name. Or is it? Next slide.
The casual, we don't know.
Oh no. Next slide, please. Yeah, so Lisa, or Elizabeth Joestar. It's
Okay.
revealed way later, but hey, you remember that baby from the boat? The one who got orphaned? Yeah, that's her.
Fair enough.
I should mention, I mean, obviously, because Joseph exists, Irina at the time was pregnant, so her husband, George Joestar II, was killed by a servant of Dio, who was a zombie, I almost said ghoul, a zombie in like a high-ranking military position, and by the time George figured it out, George doesn't have Haman. So he goes to confront the leader, and the leader's like, oh no, you found me out. Foxy jump scare.
I'd like to pause for a second and just bring up what like chain of command in military allowed for a zombie.
Who the fuck? No? I mean, presumably he was like in the military. Well, no, because he'd have to be a zombie beforehand because he was made by Dio. We saw in part 1 that some zombies are able to kind of like they're not like Walking Dead zombies. They have some semblance of like actual like thought. We've seen Bruford and Tarkus. I still love the name Bruford. Show like actual intelligence. They're clearly intelligent, malicious or no. So she learns Haman kills the zombie who murdered her husband, and another military member watches her basically use her hand to like split a motherfucker in half, and is like,
The fuck kind of karate she learning?
like, oh my gosh, she just murdered that guy.
She rippled this man's bones apart. Essentially,
she ripple on my Haman till I sunlight overdrive.
I was about to say, what the fuck is your joke about to be? Or is it about to be like, she ripple on my Haman until I split a motherfucker in half?
No, she ripple on my Haman till I sunlight overdrive. Anyways, she's like stoic and collected compared to Caesar and Joseph, who are just both like at each other's throats. Similarly to Zeppeli, she's really like severe with the training, just really trying to like slam the fucking training into them. Yeah.
For just for my own research purposes, how old?
So she looks to be in her 20s. Because Haman delays your aging, it makes you look younger. She's actually, I think at the time of part 2, like 50? Yeah, that's right. That's right. You almost tuned to a hag. Old. This man like old. Anyways.
All I'm saying is there's also money involved.
All I'm saying is the older the raisin, the sweeter the fruit. Anyways.
What are your thoughts on this lovely comment from both of us, Stock Image Chan?
Alright, the Pillar Men. Main antagonist.
The Pillar Men.
The Pillar Men.
This looks like a boys. This looks like a fucking boys group for a brief second. You can tell me this looks like a fucking boys pop group, and I would believe you.
Brother, look at how they are built. That is not a pop group. They are going to pop your fucking skull.
Look, I never
Um,
said that they weren't a boys pop group. It was also secretly like a
Like
fucking stripper
bodybuilders?
group
like,
at the same time.
yeah. So,
Anyway,
this is the best picture I could find of them. Unfortunately, it does not include the fourth member. Only the like top three. So we have the guy sitting on the chair on the throne, the main leader, Cars.
with a K.
No, with a K,
To
with a
avoid
K.
the fucking. Well, actually, how is the band name spelled?
You'd have to look that up. My phone's over there.
No, it is just the Cars spelled correctly.
Oh, Cars.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I don't know why this man was just like.
Probably just to make it look more like a kind of cool looking name. Anyways, leader of the Pillar Men. He can create blades. These blades are the sharpest blades. They can cut through anything. Anyways, you want to hear a musical reference? AC/DC.
I did not realize that was gonna be AC/DC.
AC/DC.
I literally was trying to figure out what the fuck that was down there. I'm like, is this
AC/DC. He's the second in command. Every Pillar Man can manipulate their body in like really weird ways. AC/DC he can boil his own blood, and basically his ability is just fire.
Now, why the fuck would you ever want to boil your own blood?
Motherfucker, they are immortal. It does not stop him. They can't age. They can die. Oh, wait, that's just what immortal means. Never mind.
Fair enough.
Wamu. Sorry, I
Which
should
I
clarify.
don't think is a musical reference.
It is. They're all musical references.
What the fuck is the what?
I think Wham or something like that. So that's AC/DC.
Yeah, fair enough. I
That's
forgot the
Wamu.
Japanese. Yeah, I forgot the Japanese.
Yeah. He's unlike the others who are like extremely cruel. Wamu is kind of cruel, but also has some vague sense of honor. He wields the powers of wind. He does a lot of shit with wind. He like covers himself with wind to make himself basically invisible. One of his signature move is spinning his arms really fast and creating fucking sandstorms. He's used wind before to like cut into stone. It involves wind, he can probably do it. The final one, the one who got cut out, Santana.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
See, there you go. Like I said, the music references get really obvious. Lowest ranked, he's the youngest of one of the youngest Pillar Men. He doesn't have many unique abilities. All the Pillar Men can manipulate their body and like twist in weird ways.
Yeah.
Santana just kind of uses it to like crawl inside people and stuff like that. So, additional characters. We have a couple. Hey, Strizo's back. Except he started aging. So he
Yeah.
was like, fuck it. I know we said we'd like stop vampires, but I kind of want to become a vampire.
All right. Where's Strizo in this lineup?
Strizo. He looks, because this is him after he became a vampire, the exact same as when he did in part 1. If you were paying attention when I said, make note of Strizo.
You brought up
Bitch.
this man and then did not bring him up again until.
Because he is just not.
Yeah.
He's just another guy fighting zombies in
enough.
part 1.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
in
I
part two-
think I know the person at the top. Looking at the names, never
Do this
mind.
if you need to.
Never mind.
Yeah, so absolutely no shocker here. The guy in the military uniform, it's I believe, a younger picture, but it's also the only one I could find that wasn't either a fake PNG, a real PNG, but incredibly pixelated, a picture from the games, or him as a cyborg. Rudolf von Stroheim. Very German name. No shocker, he's a Nazi.
Yeah, I like how you can tell that this is not a musical reference because that is just a fucking generic.
I don't think it is. I'm gonna.
Rudolf von Stroheim is just a generic
That's just
German
also,
name.
yeah, it's just a very German name. It could be a reference to something. I don't know. Iraqi's weird about it.
Susie Q is definitely, but
Yeah, Susie Q. You should know. But like a very like. She doesn't do too much in this one. She's just somebody who works for Lisa, and who later becomes Joseph's wife. I'm not gonna comment on the fact that Araki made a black character and then named him Smokey Brown. Uh,
Smokey Brown might also be a musical
it is.
reference.
It probably is, but it's just really funny for a name. Uh, he's a New York pickpocket who, like, I think he attempts to pickpocket Joseph, fails, and then when some like police start basically being racist to him, Joseph's like, "That's no good."
So he turns into Sonic.
Yeah. Fun fact, Joseph Joestar in the dub is voiced by the same guy who did Nigel Uno from Codename Kids Next Door.
Oh my god. Please tell me it's noticeable.
Yeah. The dude has like one voice. What do you
Oh
mean?
god.
So again, beginning of the series. So Speedwagon Strizo, guy with long black hair.
Yes.
Well, actually, and by this point, it's a little bit shorter and like gray, but we'll get to that. And other members of Speedwagon's own foundation are in this pyramid in Mexico, which has like a bunch of the same stone masks that turn people into vampires, and as well as this man trapped in stone.
Okay.
Think like Han Solo Carbonite almost.
Yeah.
Almost like a mosaic. And Speedwagon's like, "Oh man, we gotta destroy these." And Strizo's like,
So he's a turtle having sex.
yeah. Strizo betrays him, dumps the bodies into a river because he notices that the man in the stone is like reacting to it almost. So he's like, "Fuck that." Goes to New York to finish the job. He's like, "All right, I gotta make sure no one's alive to stop me." Hey, Joseph. Hey, buddy. So while eating at a restaurant with Arena and Smokey, who's newly befriended, mind you, he finds out Speedwagon's dead due to like basically fighting some mobster, and they like hear about it that way. And then while they're eating, he like looks out the window and sees Strizo watching him. And if you'd go to the next slide, please. He's a little prepared. That is
That is
Tommy gun. Or no, sorry, it's either a Tommy gun or like a Thompson. Or I think that is a Tommy gun. What am I saying? With a like drum mag. Mind you, Joseph is wearing, as you can see, like a regular button up, tie, jacket, and like regular pants. Where the fuck was he hiding that? That's a whole ass rifle. Okay. And if you'll go to the next slide real quick, yeah, he's like more than a little prepared.
damn it at the point.
Well, because so the context is in this fight, that scarf helps to like diffuse Haman.
Yeah.
So Strizo's like, "Nice try, retard." Because of this scarf, I'm immune to Haman. Notices the like a grenade hanging at the end of his scarf and is like, "All right, buddy, you gotta try harder than that." Flicks it off, and as it is flying off, we see these strings attached to the pin. It cuts to this with all the pins snapping off, and he's just like, blows up, starts regenerating. I didn't list it, but this is where we first got our first like runaway scene. Joseph's just like, "All right, Smokey, come here, buddy." So you see, because Smokey's like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" He's like, "All right." So you see how his legs are all messed up because of the let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, counting the one that flew away, 10 grenades. And Smokey's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, ours aren't." Fucking book it. Just run.
So it's not gonna become a like technique, the ancient Joestar technique.
It is not. Oh, close. It is not the ancient Joestar technique. It is the secret Joestar technique.
I don't know how secret it really is.
Not great. You can go to the next slide. So Strizo regenerates because he's a vampire and ends up confronting Joseph on top of the suspension cables of a bridge. He's taken a hostage and he's just like, "All right, buddy, I'm gonna need you to chill the fuck out." Joseph manages to outsmart him, and Strizo's just like, "All right, you gotta know, some shit's going down in Mexico." Channels Haman and just blows himself up, basically.
Man basically said, "My final message: go to Mexico."
My final message: Mexico. I mean, it like turns to dust, not explodes, but still just.
Okay, so we get Thanos. All right, whatever.
Long before Infinity War, or probably that happened in the well, actually, before it happened in the comics is debatable. So Joseph ventures to Mexico. He gets ambushed by a Nazi assassin who he beats like pretty easily. Uh, Barely threatens the guy, and the guy just doxes his own base. Where like the Nazis are experimenting on the stone man.
Just as a brief nitpick here, why the fuck do the Nazis have a base in Mexico? What are they doing in Mexico?
Working on the stone man. Like literally,
I mean,
they have a giant containment unit where it's just the guy in the stone. They feed it blood and free him, and are like, nice. And then he breaks free, and they're like, not nice.
I need to think about this like Indiana Jones, where it's just like the Nazis are just fucking around for fucking around.
Yes. Well, it's funny because Joseph in part 3 wears like an Indiana Jones getup. Joseph gets onto the base with ease. There's like 2 guys guarding the front entrance. He wears drag in an attempt to get by. Reminder: Joseph is a like 6'3", very clear man.
I've seen the image.
Yeah, they're like, he's like, "Ooh, can I enter?" And they're like, "Fuck no, dude. What are you doing?" Like, you look, and he's like, "Oh man, how'd you see through my disguise?" And they're like, "You're ugly as shit, dude." Like, what do you mean? So he just knocks him out normally and sneaks into the base. Not only that, but the Pillar Man Santana, just kind of, because remember, Pillar Men can like manipulate their body. He kind of just, I think, like squeezes through a vent, and they're just like, oh, literally, it is. He outsmarts Santana using a well of water and the sun. Reduces Santana to stone. Santana gets taken to like a Speedwagon Foundation facility for study. Santana attempted to at one point like crawl inside of Stroheim. So Stroheim just pops the or I guess it wouldn't be up here, it'd be down here. Pops the pin on a grenade and just seemingly killed. Seemingly detonated a grenade on his chest. So they're like, all right, this pillar, before he dies, he makes it very clear, like, oh yeah, by the way, we found similar guys in Rome. So they're like, okay, so we gotta get you to Rome. Speedwagon sends him to meet up with Caesar. They immediately butt heads and are like, fight. They have their own little fight. They're going at it. They do not like each other. They're brought to the, I think it's like underneath the Colosseum or something like that. They're brought to 3 similar stone figures by Mark, a friend of Caesar's. I only note that because, well, one, Mark's a Nazi. The only reason I mention this is because Mark's, basically some of his only dialogue is like, man, after this war's over, I'm gonna propose to my fiance. He dies.
I like how we just have names like
Mark.
Santana, fucking ACDC, and then just, hey, it's me.
It's me, Mark. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't get any better in part 5 when some of the characters, like basically all the characters except for reoccurring characters are named after food. So we just get like panna cotta fugo, ghiaccio risotto, pesci and prosciutto, stuff like that. So when they get there, the Pillar Men have pretty much already broken free. They get out, kill everyone in the facility, including Mark. I think it's Wamu, just phases through his body and takes off like a whole, like half his body. So Mark just bleeds out. Sucks, I guess. Skill issue. The Pillar Men already know about the Ripple. Clearly, they're like thousands upon thousands of years old. These people were alive at like around the time of the Aztecs, and already have counters for Haman. So our heroes are basically, again, skill issued. The only reason they survive is because Joseph challenges Wamu, the one with a sense of honor, to a like official duel in a month's time, and Wambu's like, fine, I'm gonna put this ring around your aorta in 33 days.
Mm-hmm.
It'll release a poison and kill you. In order to get the antidote, you need this ring that's on my lip. uh ACDC's like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do that too. Places it on Jonathan, wrong guy. Joseph, I knew it was gonna happen. Joseph's windpipe, and is like, you need the one on my nose. Or else the same thing will happen, poison. So Caesar's like, all right, really cool of you, really brave. We need to get you some training, you're gonna die. So I'm gonna bring you to Lisa in Venice, so you can get some training. You can really get that Haman stat up, and not die. There you go.
For the stone.
Yeah, so not the stone masks. I should mention, by the way, Pillarmen are like ancient vampires and created the stone masks.
I still hate every time I see ACDC's name because it just does not look like it should be ACDC.
Yeah, yeah. So after about 3 weeks of rigorous training, Joseph and Caesar are just masters of Haman. They got it. They maxed out
Yeah.
their skills. So as a final test, Lisa is like, all right, you're gonna go fight one-on-one. You're gonna fight my servants. It's not lonks, it's logs. It's like, I forget how the second one's pronounced. It's logs and like machina or something like that. It's another musical reference.
I have no idea.
I'd have to look up the specific pronunciation because I didn't include them, because Joseph goes to fight Logs, and Logs is just fucking dead. And ACDC is like, "What's up, motherfucker? Um,
You doing okay?
you doing good? Anyways, I'm gonna kill you now."
I'm already dead.
He ACDC gets in Joseph's head briefly and does his own version of the like, your next line is, ends up losing. Joseph walks away like it's a job well done, like, ooh, got my antidote, he. And as he turns, we see the brain of ACDC has survived and is using like veins as a bunch of tentacles and is just on his back. He gets back to the like island in Venice where Lisa is like training. And yeah.
Nah, go ahead. I'll let you finish your sentence.
And the brain of, oh, it should be possesses. Oh no, it's correct. The remnants of ACDC sneak back with Jonathan. That should be Joseph. And possess Susie Q. While controlling Susie Q, oh, I should actually, you know what? It's right there. So Lisa has this stone in her possession called the Red Stone of Aya. It is a perfected version of it. If you put the Red Stone of Aya, which amplifies sunlight,
yeah,
in the stone mask that the Pillarmen have, they just become the ultimate life form, the ultimate being on Earth. They become unstoppable.
Alright, okay, I'm gonna stop you. Is it ever explained how the fuck the brain shit works and how that happened?
Because Pillarmen can manipulate their body on basically a cellular level,
Yeah.
they can just do that. Like, the same way Santana and all of them, like,
Okay, so this is a really broken ability.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine that not everybody has that same level of ability, though.
All
like,
the Pillarmen do. It's how they use all of their abilities. It's not as powerful here because ACDC got reduced to just a brain, so he can't use a lot of his cool abilities.
Fair enough.
He's only really just manipulating Susie Q so that, like, while Lisa's demonstrating the stone, like, oh, I hold it up to the sun, it shoots a beam of concentrated energy.
Yeah.
Which is, like, extremely powerful. If they get their hands on this, we're fucked. Anyways, while ACDC is possessing Susie Q, he steals the stone and ships it off.
I mean, fair enough.
They discover ACDC is alive. He doesn't really do much. By that point, the fight's out of him, so Joseph holds him up to the sunlight and he just gets destroyed. That's the death of the first Pillarman. You might say, oh, but like Santana got turned to stone. Yeah, he's not dead. He's just hibernating basically. Um, but AC/DC's gone, but they're like, oh no, the stone's gone. Lisa uses cool Haman powers to figure out where the stone was sent. It was sent to Switzerland. Oh yeah. Anyways, the Nazis now have the stone because it
Yeah,
got
because it's in
confiscated. Yeah,
Switzerland. In
it got.
what the
Sorry,
fuck did the Nazis want to do with the stone? Just as a
nothing. They just took it and were like, oh, that's pretty cool. Also, you need to remember they were also investigating the Pillar Men. They're just like, ooh, this looks important. So Stroheim's back. Rebuilt is the correct terminology here because one, yeah, he got blasted apart like he died in a Lego game because of a grenade. But also because from now on he is a cyborg.
so him ass went. Oh, like fell
I'm gonna
apart.
grab my water because my throat is dead. Stroheim gets defeated by cars. Stroheim and his Nazis basically just get wiped out
Yeah.
by cars using cars' cool super powerful blades that can cut through anything. Like Stroheim has a minigun in his chest that he like fires in a spray. Does nothing. Cars just slices him in half and is just like, stop that. However, because Stroheim, as like a defiant act, tosses the stone off a cliff, it causes this like mad scramble that allows Joseph to regain possession of the stone, and Cars is like, fine, I'll get that later. I don't give a shit. They learn that the Pillar Men are hiding out in this hotel, and Caesar's like, we should go now before everybody gets back. We can like just dog on him, just tag team him.
Yeah.
And Joseph's like, nah, we should be a bit more conservative about it and like wait. So Caesar decides to go off on his own, kind of on his own. Machina, or however his name is supposed to be pronounced, is driving the car. They get attacked. Caesar goes inside to fight Wamu on his own. He's pretty competent, you know, he's powerful. He's got his own abilities. If you go to the next slide, he uses, it's zoomed in. He uses his own signature ability of bubbles to reflect light and basically create a maze of light to where Wamu cannot move at all.
Yeah.
So Wamu is stuck. One single move and he'll get absolutely fried by these lenses. Caesar looks like he's got it. I mean, he's about to claim that W. He's got it. He lunges into the air to deliver the finishing blow, and if you'd go to the next slide, it does not end up well for him.
No.
He jumps up to deliver the finishing blow, blocks the sunlight for like a fraction of a second, and Wamu just goes, oh, uses his wind ability, Divine Sandstorm, where he like spins his arms really fast and creates like mini tornadoes that will like tear you apart.
Yeah.
Hits Caesar point blank. It demolishes the hotel. Caesar, as a last act, gives Joseph the last of his Haman in the form of a bubble made of blood with the ring on it that has the antidote. And then I mean, as you can see, you can see, the stone, like part of the stone of the hotel shaped like a cross just Wamu thinks about destroying the bubble that has the last of Caesar's Haman, and then he's like, nah, he fought well, I'll let him have it. You can go to the next slide.
Is that gonna come back and bite Wamu?
So they decide to have their, remember, in 1 month's time,
Yeah.
big fight. Joseph beats Wamu. The bandana does come up. The bandana that Caesar's wearing that was in the bubble. Because at the very culmination of the fight, Wamu uses this ability to create a stream of wind that's like cutting through stone. I mentioned it before. Joseph throws oil, like kind of randomly tossing stuff. He tosses oil and then tosses Caesar's bandana that he lit on fire. You can guess where this goes. He cuts up the bandana and like absorbs pieces of it and is like, is that the best you can do, Joseph? I think he calls him Jojo. And Joseph's like, when combined with this oil it is, and Wamu's like, fuck, blows up. It's like just ahead. Cars tries to kill him after winning, because it's Cars, he's a piece of shit. He's a villain. He's not gonna follow the rules. Wamu, as just a head, starts like killing zombies to save Joseph. Like, is just kind of laying there. Joseph takes the antidote, gives Wamu a real warrior send-off. Lisa tries to fight Cars. He beats her a little easy. The Nazis are back. You thought Speedwagon was dead when he detonated a grenade. No, you thought Speedwagon was dead when he got cut in fucking half. Horizontally. No. He shows up again with the Nazis. Also, Speedwagon and Smokey. But they've got like shoulder-mounted UV light to dissolve these zombies. They are uber prepared.
Is it ever explained how Speedwagon keeps coming back?
He just didn't die when Strizo, like wounded him. So the Nazis found him and were just like, "Hey, buddy, what do you know about this stone guy?" And he's like, "I ain't gonna tell you shit."
Fair enough.
So they attempt to help defeat Cars. Joseph manages to get Cars on the ground where Cars' face is like facing away from them, and they're like blasting with UV light. Cars turns to face them, has the stone mask on with the red stone of Aya in it, and they're like, fuck, never mind. Cars becomes the ultimate life form. So, through a convoluted series of events, because it involves a plane crash, a volcano erupting, this all starts with like Joseph, the secret Joestar technique, running away, and Cars is like, get the fuck back here. Anyways, when that volcano erupts, it launches them into the sky.
Yeah.
Cars goes to fly away, starts like taunting Joseph. During the fight, Joseph's arm got cut off. And the severed arm flies up because of the eruption, grabs Cars around the throat.
Not explained.
Motherfucker, it's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You want to guess how it happens?
Fair enough.
It like grabs him by the throat. That distracts him just long enough that some of the volcanic debris hits Cars in the chest and just launches him into orbit.
Yeah.
As Cars is flying away, he's like, "Did you plan this from the start, Jojo?" And Joseph goes, "You bet your ass I did." And then in an internal monologue, he goes, "I didn't plan any of that. I just said that because it'd piss him off." Even though he got launched into the sky on a piece of rock by a fucking volcano, Joseph survives somehow and just goes on to marry Susie Q and have a nice little family. Mind you, they hold a funeral for him because they think he's dead. And as everyone's standing around the grave, Joseph walks up and is just like, "What's everybody crying about?" And everybody's just like,
How
how
are you here?
they're just like, "Wait a minute." I didn't put it in here because it's some of the like end stuff. Stroheim dies in war.
Okay.
They finally kill this man. Speedwagon dies at the age of like 89 of a heart attack. Lisa, I forget what happens to Lisa. I think she just has a nice peaceful rest of her life. Is Stardust Crusaders time. Anyways, Dio's fucking back. Somehow. He survived.
What do you mean the pile of muscle at the top?
Yeah. Ripped as shit.
Yeah, really, I was just saying, I could not tell if that was a mountain or muscles.
That is Joseph's body, or not Joseph, Jonathan's body.
How the fuck?
Vampire.
Okay.
Vampire abilities. Dio has
I was
like
also more saying, how the fuck did it get this ripped? Because he was not this ripped before.
Dio can do his own thing.
Fair
Also,
enough.
it's a little hard to see here, but you might be able to see it on there maybe. The star-shaped birthmark.
Yeah.
That is important. That dictates somebody who is a part of the Joestar bloodline
Okay.
because it's Jonathan's body. Anyways, yeah, a Japanese delinquent and his friends travel across the world to stop the British vampire from part one and save his mom. So stands are a thing.
What the fuck is this?
That
What
is
the-
so stands have rankings. They have things like speed, it's either precision or like
Yeah.
strength, all that. Like exactly what you'd imagine. There's also a stat for how much a stand can improve.
Okay.
I didn't include those there, but like it's important for later because yeah, just for the concept of like stands have all different varying abilities.
Mm-hmm.
We are reaching like RPG abilities sort of thing.
Yeah.
So a couple rules that for the most part stick, but sometimes change. We have our moments. Only stands can touch other stands. A user can have only one stand at a time, and any damage dealt to a stand will be reflected on its user. So, like, if you chop off a couple fingers of a stand, the stand user will have those same fingers chopped off. You stab a stand somewhere, that person will get a stab wound similarly. Next slide. So now that we have that out of the way, Jotaro Kujo. He is the grandson of Joseph Joestar. He's like pretty much I don't want to say the exact same as Joseph when he was younger, but roughly the same idea. He's rough around the edges, heart of gold, exact same thing, inspired by Clint Eastwood. He's not doing it here. He has a pose where he'll do like a finger gun.
I think I've seen that
his
one.
His catchphrase is "good grief," because Clint Eastwood. You get the idea. He possesses the stand Star Platinum. So, the names of stands. They are. Some of them are music. Some of them are tarot cards, and like a handful of them are named after the Egyptian gods in this one.
So what the fuck is happening here with Star Platinum? Is that just special?
It's a tarot card of the star, and I believe also maybe no, I don't think this one is a band name. I think it's just the star. Originally with Star Platinum, all it has is like super strength.
Yeah.
At the end of this series, which is a big old spoiler, but this series has been out for fucking ever. You have had every opportunity to watch it. You should know by this point. It eventually gains the ability to stop time for a couple seconds.
Yep.
So the reason Jotaro's embarking on this journey to Egypt, because that's where Dio is, how did this man who had a ship sink like halfway to America somehow end up in fucking Egypt?
I'm not gonna question
I
it.
think it was the boat that dug him up, but he's going on a journey to not only stop Dio, but also, hey, because Dio awakened his stand and everyone in the Joestar bloodline now has a stand, Holly, his mother, has a stand, except hers is just killing her. It's just slowly killing her.
Okay, does her stand have a name?
I don't believe so.
Unnamed.
Unnamed. Just Holly's stand. I don't
Fair
think
enough.
it has a name.
It's like Sly Cooper's mother.
Yep. Or George's wife, the mother of Jonathan Joestar. I don't think we ever get her name. Yeah, you can go next. So Joseph's back. The fit. The Indiana Jones fit.
That is a
He is rocking that. So he's back. He's mellowed out a lot more. He's no longer nearly as hot-headed. So he has the stand Hermit Purple, named after the Hermit. It's basically a thorny whip, but also he can use it to literally divine information. At first he is like, I must smash a camera. There's a specific yen amount, but because, you know, Japanese, of course, it's going to measure it in yen. But, like, I need to smash it, and then later he doesn't. He figures out how to use it by just, like, I'm going to put my hand to both sides of this TV, and figure it out. Or, like, he's used dust before. Like, it gets finer tuned. He still technically has Ripple, but he's neglected his training. That's why only a few years later...
Alright, so what the fuck does it do with TVs and shit? What does the stand be doing?
It says there, divine information. It's
Oh, so
like scrying.
yeah, you
Scrying.
okay.
He's unlocked the 5th level spell scrying.
Yeah, except it's very situational. You need to hope that your thing's by a TV.
I mean, yeah, it's in like this is in like 1988.
I
Yeah,
mean, I feel like it's still pretty common for someone to not be by a TV back then, but yeah.
he doesn't need to just use technology. He can also just use like dust
Okay.
puddle. Uh, he still kind of has his sharp wit. It's not as present. It gets worse in part 4. By part 4, he's like Joe Biden maxing kind of. His mission is just straight up destroy Dio, behead Dio, throw Dio into a wood chipper. Next slide.
Yeah, that makes sense considering the problems that this man has caused his entire family lineage at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Muhammad Avdol.
Yeah.
Joseph Joestar's new best buddy after the old one got crushed by a rock. Um,
Yeah.
he has the same mission of destroying Dio. He's actually met Dio and booked it, rightfully so. He's was a fortune teller. He still kind of uses it. He has the tarot cards on him, so like before they leave to go on their journey, Abdul's like, "Oh right, your stand's gonna need a name. Star Platinum." He has Magician's Red, which is fire. A lot of fire manipulation.
Yep.
He can do some cool things with it, but like that's the down and dirty. Fire. Very helpful offensive stand. He can use it for some utility, but like just overall well-rounded stand. He has a lot of practice with it. He's willing to put his life on the line for comrades. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I'm getting some. I'm getting some vibes all of a sudden. I'm getting some vibes all of a sudden.
Next, Noriaki Kakuen.
Yeah.
Immediate reaction.
That was supposed to be a you.
Oh yeah.
This was who I thought you were showing me earlier. Who I was like, yeah, I might know that person. Then was like, no.
Yeah. So Kakuen's the one who does the thing with the cherry. Yeah. It's really funny because we'll get to who that is. That's not even him. That's somebody impersonating him. But after they defeat the guy who was impersonating him, they're like leaving to go somewhere, and Kakuen's like, "Oh, can I have that cherry?" And Jotaro's like, "Ah, fuck it, whatever. Yeah, sure." He does the exact same thing.
Yep.
Which means that the guy impersonating him was tracking him, saw him do that, and was like, "I need to make a note of that." He's briefly controlled by Dio. When they first meet him, he's like, "Ooh, I'm evil." He's a fellow high school student, like attacks Jotaro. When Jotaro knocks him out, he takes him to his house, and they're like, lift up his hair, and they're like, "Oh, that's a flesh bud. It is a piece of vampiric flesh controlling his actions." Oh, well, let's just... It technically takes more precision, but it basically is just pop that bad boy out, toss it into the sun, done. He joins the group not only out of a sense of justice and wanting to get back at Dio, but he's also like, "Yeah, I owe you one, Jotaro.
Yep.
Count me in." Next.
That's fucking buttons.
The Frenchest of French names, Jean-Pierre Polnareff. French. Take a fair number of the stereotypes about French people. Yes.
If I had a nickel for every Jean that we had talked about this entire series,
I
I'd
would
have
have
two nickels, which
is a lot.
weird.
But yeah. No,
Especially when
French.
you compare them side by side, because one's a fucking massive ass, fuck ass bison, and then this thing.
Yeah.
More.
Gonna get my water. Again, same deal.
Wow.
Briefly controlled by Dio. Had the flesh bud. He wants revenge for the murder of his sister, which is why he joins in. Get back at Dio.
Mhm.
Help poor Holly, who's like dying. But also, I want to find my sister's murder. That's not what he sounds like. I just went southern for no reason. Um, he has the stand whose main ability is it's stupid fast and really good with a sword. Silver Chariot, inspired by the Chariot tarot card.
Yep.
Boastful but honorable and well-meaning. He's, like I said, a lot of the stereotypes about French people probably apply to him. It gets at times really hard for him to admit that he's done wrong. He's a ladies' man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, French. Uh
If you could not tell by Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre Polnareff. Next. Iggy is dog. So I want you to know that top picture, that is his original appearance. The most is dog you've ever seen. Then for some fuck ass reason, over time, and by the time they get to like, we did it, we found Dio. He looks like the bottom one where he has like a goblinoid face. I don't know why. I guess Araki just thought like with a more human face, he'd be like easier to draw to be like expressive. But he looks like a goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Iggy, is dog. He likes coffee flavored gum.
Okay.
That's just a thing he likes. It's like one of the two things they drop him off in Egypt. The Speedwagon Foundation are like, yeah, you're gonna need somebody to help you find Dio's lair. Anyways, here's Iggy. He's a stand, like, we're not a stand user. He is.
The fuck, the dog?
Yeah, the dog.
What is the dog stand?
He possesses the sand manipulating stand, the Fool. It creates, I don't know if it creates its own sand or just manipulates like sand and dust around him, but it is exactly what you'd think a sand stand would be. Think like Sandman.
Yeah.
Manipulate sand, make like, offensive sort of thing.
Mhm.
It can technically make like images of other things. He uses it to impersonate Dio later. Unfortunately is intelligent. He's a Boston Terrier, but more appropriately, he is a Boston terrorism. He's just a piece of shit at first, just really awful, just not good. Just a menace. He likes like ripping out people's hair and like
Yeah.
farting in their face.
Yeah.
That's a thing he'll do. He'll like jump onto people like a fucking face hugger and just he eventually loses one of his front paws in a fight against another enemy stand user. The enemy stand user is an eagle. Because animals can have sands. We'll get to those.
Yeah, we've already gotten.
Oh, he's not even the first animal stand user
What?
we meet. Oh, we'll get to that. He is. There's just so much to say about Iggy. He gets better, but like when I say he starts off as just a real like uncaring piece of shit, I mean it. Next slide. Yeah, so Dio's back. It's stylized as Dio
This
in
is
all
this is
caps.
the design of
Yeah. No, this is him. He's survived by grafting his head onto Jonathan's body. He's still very much alive after part 1. So that casket that
Yeah.
Arena escaped in,
Mhm.
yeah, there was a second compartment in there, and he's just been chilling for like 100 years.
Yeah.
Exactly the same personality. Nothing really to note changed. He's still a overly manipulative asshole. Again, exactly the same thing. Like, hard as black as night, evil man. He has his own stand that he got through the power of the stand arrow. No more stone masks. Now we have stand arrows. Exactly what it sounds like. It's like it's an arrow with a really decorative like arrowhead.
Yeah.
And you just
Mhm.
and you either get a stand, which is really cool, or you die. So
it's a real 50-50.
real 50-50. Like you either get a really cool stand, or it's a bit too much for you and you kind of just die. At least I think it is with the stand arrows. Pretty sure it is. Or maybe I'm thinking of what happens in part 7. Next slide.
Yeah, and then his same the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the series, like I said, Dio's been chilling in the coffin for like 100 some years, just kind of floating at the bottom of the ocean. Floating at the bottom of the, you get the idea. And then now he's picked up by some treasure hunters in like 1983, and part 3 takes place in 88. So for 5 years,
Yeah.
he's just fucking around somewhere. We
Okay.
find out what he's been getting up to in the later parts. 5 years later, we meet up with our main character. He's in a jail cell, talking about how he can't leave because he has some evil spirit possessing him. Um, I mean, also because he assaulted like 4 people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, only his mom can really see it because she's a Joestar.
Yeah.
Uh, but she's like, ah, fuck, I don't know about this. I'll call your estranged grandfather because we live in Japan and he lives over in America.
Yeah.
He can get down here. I
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah. Uh, so Joseph arrives with Muhammad Abdul. They have a brief argument, but Abdul and Joseph give him like the lowdown. Just like, all right, so that's actually something called a stand. It's a manifestation of your fighting spirit. Um, I need your help, like the fucking Uncle Sam recruitment posters, because the adopted brother of your, what would it be now, great grandfather, uh, who now has the body of your grandfather, is in Egypt doing some evil stuff. See, I have this photograph. You know that pose he was doing on the cover, the like with his back
Yep.
turned? Yeah, that's just what they see. It's
Uh,
just Dio posed in darkness doing that with the birthmark visible, and they're like, yeah, so you see that star. Anyways, you can go to the next next slide. All this says is just, yeah, so Dio gave himself a stand, and because that was Jonathan's body, um everybody else has a stand. uh Dio, this is a technical break of the stand rules already. Dio technically has 2 stands. He has the world, which I talked about. He also has the stand of Jonathan's body, which looks exactly like Hermit Purple, these like purple vines wrapped around
yeah.
his hand, and has basically the same abilities. This is because, for some reason, Jonathan's body and Dio's head are basically considered separate for stands.
Okay.
Yeah, just something to note, because it's explained that that's how all of these enemy stand users keep finding them, and how they get basically 3 minutes of calm before somebody's like, I found you now, Joestars. So Jotaro returns to school. All right, we'll head out later because Holly hasn't gotten sick yet.
Yeah.
Kakuin attacks him. Jotaro beats the shit out of Kakuin while somehow not killing him. Like, you know how I said damage is reflected from a stand onto its user?
Yeah.
Star Platinum grabs his stand by the neck and just starts bashing the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
No idea how he survived that, but they like find the flesh bud and they're like, darn. Cool. +1 party member. Kakuin's here now. After they've now departed, they're in Hong Kong, and now Polnareff attacks them. Avdol's like, darn. Beats Polnareff, same deal. They're like, oh, flesh bud. +1 party member. We have already pretty much everybody.
Yes.
So they're attacked by multiple stand users. There was no point in summarizing all of them. It was way too many. Finally ending up in the Middle East. While in the Middle East, during a fight with another stand user, I'll point out which on the next slide, Avdol seemingly dies, shot in the head.
Yeah.
Next slide. Okay, stand blitz. Because there's so many, I'm going to basically go really quickly through a bunch of the guys they find. Not say too much, but just get through them. So, the first one they encounter, I don't think we get the name of the old man, but it's on a plane. They're attacked by a beetle stand named Tower of Grey, whose ability is just go really fast and like rip out people's tongues. Just kill them. Imposter Captain Tennille. They're on a boat given by the Speedwagon Foundation, and they're like, all right, we're gonna be on our way. They think something's up. Jotaro is smoking a cigarette because delinquent, And the captain's like, "Hey, you can't do that. You gotta put that cigarette out." And Jotaro's like, "Ah, but you see, stand users, when they smell cigarette smoke, have a vein pop out on their nose. So everyone like puts their finger on their nose, like, oh really? Including Avdol for some reason, who knows like a lot about stands and should know that that's not true.
Mm.
But anyways, Avdol's like, no, no, the fuck it isn't. And he's like, yeah, I was lying. Anyways, hey, our captain's not supposed to be a stand user. Why did the captain put his finger on his nose? And the imposter Captain Tennille's just like, he wields the Stand Deep Blue Moon, named after the Moon tarot card.
Yes.
Its whole thing is just it's really powerful in water. It can manipulate water.
Yeah.
It's like I think 1 episode fight. I don't. It might be 2. Anyways, hey, Forever. Forever is an orangutan.
Why? What?
Yeah, he is a orangutan. Again, okay, so something to consider with a lot of these enemy stand users is how the fuck does Dio recruit them? Like, yes, Dio is manipulative and like very persuasive, as said by multiple people, but like, what the fuck did he say to this orangutan?
I imagine he just goes up and just goes.
And then Forever is just like. Anyways, Forever. People don't like the episode with Forever because it involves a little girl, and Forever is a bit of a pervert. They see him like look at a Playboy. He tries to peep at the girl in the shower.
On a scale of like 1 to oh no.
Well, it's a little. Think like 12, 13-ish. So pretty bad.
Yeah, because it was okay.
Yeah, like we don't see anything. Obviously, we just see her like, like what the fuck are you doing? And Forever just, and then Jotaro beats the shit out of Forever. Forever's stand is strength. Boat. It's a big boat.
Dio really gave this orangutan a boat.
He can't assign stands.
I know.
Stands are a manifestation of a person's willpower, basically, or like their life essence.
So what the? That also just brings up the question of what the fuck kind of willpower does this monkey have?
Yeah, well, it should
like
also be.
boat?
Well, it's a boat where he can manipulate everything down to like the pipes. Like we are talking, him and the boat are one and the same. Anyways, yeah, well, originally also it said that a stand is like their fighting spirit, but because there are so many stands that aren't like directly combat stands, it gets changed to like willpower, basically.
I'm also noticing that these all have the last name of Stand.
No. So stand is just, it's just the formatting.
I'm stupid.
Stand user,
I'm
stand.
stupid.
Yep. You are. You said it, not me. After Forever is a stand user by the name of Devo the Cursed with the stand Ebony Devil. It like possesses objects.
Yes.
So like mainly he fights through like a doll that he possesses, like Chucky style. I should note, and this is a trend that gets started and is mostly followed through. If you fight Jotaro, the main character, you get the shit beaten out of you. He does though, or like a lot of punches, but you end up what's just retired. Like you get beaten up, you go
don't
like,
die.
Oh,
You just
die.
you just fucking straight up are like, I'm done.
Yeah, no, literally that. If you fight Polnareff, you end up dead. He just fucking kills you. Devo the Cursed, he shreds the doll that Devo is possessing. Some guy in the hotel they're staying in, like a janitor, basically, is like, "Hey, buddy, you good in there?" Opens the stall, and Devo is just shredded. It is just a shredded man. I don't know why they immediately suspect the Frenchman, but like, yeah. Rubber Soul. I did not know. I forgot that was his name.
Yep, that's a Beatles reference.
Yep. His stand, Yellow Temperance, named after Temperance. He's the guy who impersonates Kakyoin and goes. His whole stand is like it's shape-shifting. He can use it to protect himself. It's goop. It's goop he can use for.
Okay, all right, it's goop. That makes sense why it's Rubber Soul then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But like,
I do find it funny
as a
that
human name.
I do find it funny that all of these are like regular-ish names, and then just Rubber Soul.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Devo, okay, a little weird. Forever, it's an ape. I'm not gonna count the imposter, Captain Tennille, and the old man because we never get their names. Jay Guile, a little weird, but like J obviously stands for something. Whole horse. Okay, now we have another weird name. Nina, completely fair. ZZ, what? J Guile, uh, his stand is Hanged Man, after the Hanged Man tarot card,
Yep.
of course. He is the person who killed Polnareff's sister. The scene where Polnareff gets his revenge is one of the best fucking scenes that I've ever seen. It's really good. He ends up dead as shit, like impaled on a gate sort of thing. He has a mother who is also a servant of Dio. We'll get to her. Whole horse. He combined with the hanged man. I should note, hanged man. It's got a knife. It can go through reflections. It can like stab your reflection
Yeah.
and you'll get stabbed. Emperor. Notice how I just put gun. It is a revolver with infinite bullets with like tracking. It is balanced out by Whole Horse being retarded. Just the dumbest man alive.
I'd also just like to state I am really struggling from the fact that the only like touch off point of tarot cards that I have is Persona 5.
I was betting it was. Yeah. Nina. Her stand is Empress.
She is.
Her stand, Empress, it's a little like tumor that grows on you and eventually kills you. Like
So
grows
what's
into
your-
a little creature and just tries to like kill you. She's another one of the stand users where she doesn't get retired, she just gets killed.
So what you're saying is that what the fuck the name? Oh my god, my joke. All right,
Okay,
never mind.
no,
I
it's fine.
fucked it. I fucked it.
Nina Empress latches itself onto Joseph. Joseph like wraps Hermit Purple around like a I think like lamppost, jumps up and then just yank, cuts up Empress. Nina is hiding inside of Nina is like this gross fat woman hiding inside of a skinny like beautiful looking woman. Polnareff, the Frenchman, is flirting with her because he's womanizer.
Yeah.
I can't say womanizer. He's a ladies' man. And like mid flirting, she bursts out of the like skinny woman, like bloody and dead, and Polnareff's just like, what the fuck?
I remember my joke now. My joke was gonna be, so what you're saying is that Nina is in fact Haru Okumura.
-1. ZZ and his stand Wheel of Fortune, it's a car. It's a car that he can like manipulate to do shit, like fling gasoline and then light it. ZZ's design, he's this guy. It's at first we only see his arms, and they're these super buff, muscular arms. He's like this gross looking dude. He has like a skinny pot belly and like skinny legs, and then these two big buff arms. That's it. He just looks really goofy. They make fun of him. He's just there. That's a lot of the stand users. They're just there. Next slide. Guess that wasn't really much of a blitz, but so the group encounters Enya the Hag, or Enya Guile, who's like really close with Dio. She has the stand Judgment, which can make like illusions out of mist.
Yes.
And if the mist gets into you through like an open wound, it can control you.
Yeah.
So she fucking hates the Joestars, but especially Polnareff, because Polnareff killed her son. They defeat her. Whole Horse also gets some shit done to him because he was Guile's partner and should have done better to keep him alive, unimpaled. But like they beat her, and as she's waking up, they're like in a new town in like Pakistan or something. And they because like the way this happens is funny. Joseph goes to like haggle with this merchant for some like meat. Basically, get some grub. The guy he's haggling with takes off his disguise. It is a completely new stand user named Steely Dan. I get to it on the next one, but basically All that matters is he activates another flesh bud. This one doesn't control you, though. It just kills Enya the hag. She's like, surely Dio wouldn't kill me to keep his secret safe. Meh. Like, even as she's dying, they're like, tell us his secret, tell us his secret. Because they don't know that the world can stop time. They
Yeah.
don't even know what it can do. So they're like, what the fuck does this stand do? And they're like, ah.
Mm.
So they venture over to Egypt through the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Using a submarine granted to them by the Speedwagon Foundation. Because again, the Speedwagon Foundation has a shitload of money. I should make note, the way Speedwagon got the money to make the Speedwagon Foundation was through oil.
Honestly, that was kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah,
just from looking at him.
oil baron, really rich. So he has a lot of money to go around, especially since his foundation also does pretty much fucking everything. So they fight war stand users. Some of these stand users are named after Egyptian gods. I left out 2 just because they're not as important, but like most of them, we'll get to them. Iggy's here now. Fuck Iggy for these first like couple like chapters or like episodes, however you're encountering it, because he's just a little shit. Notice how it's allegedly be able to help them find Dio's hideout. He does eventually, but at first he just likes to wander around on his own. He's wandering around, looks, sees the exact building they're looking for, and goes, interesting, and then just keeps walking. Like, this dog sucks. Actually, I guess that last one's incorrect, even without the help of Iggy, because it's Iggy who eventually leads them to it.
Yeah.
It's in Cairo, Egypt. Next. So, Stand Bliss Part 2. Enya has the Stand Judgment. We already went over that. Steely Dan, Lovers. Lovers is this little, like, bug, almost, that goes in your ear, into your brain. Any pain that you inflict on Steely Dan gets inflicted on, whoever Lovers is currently attached to. Arabia Fats. This is like a very short episode. His stand is the sun. Do you want to guess what the sun does?
Is it just fire?
It's just it's the sun but big. It uses heat. It shoots heat rays. It makes you hallucinate. That sort of thing. Funnily enough, he's also affected by it. So he's just like in a
This man burns himself.
No, close. The way they find him is because he has a like little kind of hideaway using a mirror that just has like AC. He just sits nearby because the range is so small.
Yeah.
The stronger a stand, the smaller the range. So they're like, he's got to be somewhere nearby. They notice a rock repeated, pick up a rock, boop, and just clock him right in the head. That's it. Manish Boy. Manish Boy is an 11-month baby.
Why does this child have a stand?
Fuck knows. So you don't always need a stand arrow to get a stand. Some people, like Kakuin, are born with their stand.
Yeah.
He's probably the same thing. He's an evil super genius baby. That's really it. His stand is Death 13.
13.
Yeah, unlucky number.
Fair.
It is Freddy Krueger. If you fall asleep, it can like kill you in your dreams. Super scary. You cannot take your stand into the dream world unless it was already out. And that is the entire way that Kakuin beats him, because nobody, like, if you are attacked by Death 13, you won't remember your dream. So Kakuin gets knocked out while he has a stand out, because he's going, to everybody else, he's going schizo mode. He's like, the baby's an evil stand user. And they're like, Kakuin, shut the fuck up. Knock him out. They fall asleep. And as they're like, oh no, all hope is lost, Kakuin shows up and is just like, bitch. Beats the baby. They don't kill him. They just like give him off to somebody once they're done. Because Kakuin basically intimidates him by mixing some of his own poop into his baby food, and then just gives it to Joseph, and is just like, hey, here you go. Just being a little crazy. Here's the baby's food. You should feed him. He sure looks hungry. Yeah. Kakuin can be fucking evil. It's an evil baby. He had to intimidate the evil baby named Manish
So
Boy.
it's like an 11-month-old child,
Mhm.
retired already at 11 months old.
At 11 months old, he got intimidated into don't do that shit again, and he went, my bad.
2 levels of retiring.
Cameo and his stand judgment. So, Abdul didn't actually die in the Middle East somewhere. They travel all over the place.
Okay.
But on an island, Polnareff still thinks Abdul is dead. So he meets what he believes to be a genie that can grant 3 wishes. So he
Yes.
wishes for money to, I think he says, like, start his own amusement park called Polnareff Land. Of course. Wish for his dead sister back and wish for Abdul back. Except the version of his sister and Abdul are evil and just made of mud and like dirt. Except the actual Abdul shows up and is just like, it's me, boys. What's funny is Cameo's just like, what the fuck, dude? You're supposed to be dead. And he's like, yeah, I lived. Tucks up his bandana. He has like a scar right here from where the bullet grazed him. Anyways, really cool character moment. Except kind of not, because it's one of the situations where I'm not really happy with what Araki did. Polnareff's like, guys, Avdol's actually alive. Everybody else already knew. They knew and just didn't tell Polnareff for some reason. And they say, like, oh, we didn't want you to, like, oh, we knew you wouldn't be able to keep your mouth shut. And it's like, the fuck do you mean? This man has been blaming himself for Avdol's death to the point where he used what he thought was real wishes to wish him back.
He does this, and then the fucking wishes are just like,
Yeah,
I don't know how to tell you this.
I don't, here's the thing. I don't even think Cameo's wishes were, like, technically true. I think that's just the stand can create things out of dirt, maybe. I don't know the exact specifics. But Midler and High Priestess, I don't know how they get the name Midler, because we don't actually get her name. All we know is High Priestess is a stand that can manipulate, like, metal and, like, minerals. So that's where we get, like, this giant face made out of stone on the ocean floor that they literally punch their way out of. And I remember how damage to stands is reflected on their user. Jotaro punches his way out of her mouth, like, through her teeth. They get up to the surface, find this lady, like, laying there, and Polnareff's like, wow, she's really hot. Oh, fuck, her face is all disfigured. Because, you know, the punches. Ndul, and this is the first and one of the only stands I have listed who's a Egyptian god stand. I'm missing 2 of them intentionally. One of them is another one of the technically problematic stands. Geb. Now, Geb is, I believe, the Egyptian god of earth. Geb is water. It's this, like, bit of water that Ndul can manipulate. Ndul is blind. That does not stop him. Ndul is funny because they beat him, and, like, just as they're about to talk with him, Ndul uses his own stand and punches a hole through his head. And Jotaro's like, why the fuck would you do that? And he's like, yeah, I already knew you were going to try and interrogate me to get Dio stand. I'm not letting you get the chance.
Specifically said, I am that devoted to my boss.
No, everyone is. Like, Enya dies not willing to give up the secrets of Dio stand. He's not on here or any of them. There's 2 stand users who both have the last name. Oh, I'm blanking now. That's not good. It's Darby. The Darby brothers. Both of them have stands that involve gambling. I think the younger one is the one they encounter second, is the one who plays video games and is, go ahead, Mr. Joester. Actually, no, that one might be the first one. The first one is gambling. They're both gambling, but the first one is, like, gambling.
Yeah.
The way they beat him is because they play poker, and Jotaro ups the bid so much that Darby kind of just has a stroke. Because Darby, they're playing in like a open air, like think like a bar sort of.
Yeah.
He bribed everyone in the immediate vicinity. So when they're like, nah, 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 Darby, you cheat, pick someone else at random and like they'll deal out poker hands for us, Texas Hold'em. And or no, actually, sorry, not Texas Hold'em, regular poker. Um, and so they pick this random boy.
Yeah.
This random boy deals it out. We find out, he's bribed. He intentionally deals Jotaro shit cards. So, Jotaro against Darby is like, all right, I bid you not only my soul for the soul of my friends that have lost to you, as well as regular. Well, actually, yeah, just the soul of my friends who I lost to you. I not only bid my soul, I bid Kakuin's soul, and Darby's like, fuck, okay, fine, sure.
As Cockwood's probably like, the fuck?
No, he was willing because the entire thing is you can only bet someone else's soul if they are willing. So then he's like, all right, as well as Kakuin's soul, I think Kakuin's soul, I bet Avdol's soul. And Darby's like, the fuck? Okay, fine, sure, yeah, whatever. And he's like, cool, I raise again. Mind you, Darby knows he has shit cards. He has nothing. So he's like, what the fuck? He's starting to second guess himself. He's like, there's no way. This man's raised twice. He has 2 other souls on the line. Jotaro looks at him and goes, I raise a 4th time. I raise my mother's soul. And he's like, you can't fucking do that. She's not here. And he's like, she would let me because we care about each other, basically. And he's like, you're all out of souls to bet. I want you to wager the secret to Dio's stand. Mind you, Enya, because there was even a fraction of a chance that she would spill the beans on what his stand is, was fucking murdered. So Darby's sweating bullets. He's like, okay, I'm in a predicament here. I either call his bluff and am potentially wrong and then die, or I don't call his bluff, fold, lose, and have to give up the secret anyway and die. So he just sweats bullets until his hair physically like turns white and he just passes out. He like flips the table. The table gets like flipped over when he falls, and Avdol's like, what the fuck did you even have? His cards were terrible. Like there was no way he was gonna win. That was a lot for just a guy that wasn't even on here. Real quick. Oingo and Boingo. Their stands are Knum and Thoth.
Yes.
The only reason I draw specific attention to Boingo,
Okay.
I think Boingo, is because his stand Thoth predicts the future, but it's in like a really wacky looking comic book kind of style. One of the panels becomes important later. Later. And then the final stand user, you might notice that the stand user and the stand are the same. That's not a typo. Anubis is a stand possessing a sword. This is one of those scenarios where people are actually able to manipulate a stand. When you pick up the sword that Anubis is possessing, Anubis takes over your body. Now, the funny thing about Anubis, it's a sword. However, its lethality is based entirely on how well you can wield a sword, which leads to like some funny as like guy who's absolutely terrible at swordplay. Or at one point, Polnareff picks up the sword, and it's fucking terrifying because Silver Chariot. Next.
I was about to make the joke of so it's a sword.
Yeah, it's just a sword that makes you evil.
Next slide.
Yep. All right. They make it to Dio's castle. So Iggy figures out where it is. He leads them there. While there, they're, I say, assaulted by the best of Dio's minions. Kinda. They're assaulted by the either older or younger, the other Darby brother.
Yes.
And Vanilla Ice and his stand Cream. Yeah. Black hole. It eats itself and turns into a black hole.
Okay, so it's Gardevoir. The whole
No. I understand why. That's like just weird ball knowledge. So Kakuin ends up trying to take on Dio, dies, but he's able to pass on the secret of Dio's stand. Joseph gets briefly killed by Dio, and
Briefly.
yeah, he gets brought back through a blood transfusion, and Star Platinum like starting up his heart again by like squeezing it a little bit. Oh, don't worry, Star Platinum stops Jotaro's heart at one point for a very similar reason. So Dio attains, ultimate form Dio. Uh, because Jotaro unlocks the time stop ability, he's able to kind of be on equal footing as Dio. The two stands clash, and Dio is destroyed. I'll show a picture of it. He's gone. He's actually gone. This is his for real actual death. They put his body in the sunlight, it dissolves, he's gone. However, his influence does
I remember him coming back later.
He doesn't come back personally. His connection goes all the way through 5 and 6, though. Technically 4, but in a much lesser fashion. They have kind of it in memoriam. The 3 remaining, I don't remember if they ever actually officially get the name Stardust Crusaders. The 3 remaining Crusaders, both the Joestars and Polnareff, kind of part their separate ways, and that's the end for now. Next slide, because the last couple things we're gonna cover. So Avdol gets fucking disintegrated by Vanilla Ice.
Okay.
As you can see,
that.
only his arms remain. Next slide. Iggy loses in a battle against Vanilla Ice and uses the last of his stand ability to save Polnareff before dying. This is when I said he starts as a little shit, because this sacrifice is actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's just funny because it's the character where you're like, that fuck-ass dog that I hate. Next slide. Kakuin, you can't see it on this TV, but there's a very large black spot on his stomach where the world punched through him. He uses his special ability of his stand, Hierophant Green, which I did not talk about. It can launch these like stones almost. It's called an Emerald Splash.
Yeah.
He basically creates like tripwires all around Dio for like several meters, like a really wide range. And he's like, his whole thing is nobody can dodge the Emerald Splash. Everybody dodges the Emerald. It's people have gone like, oh well, I thought nobody was supposed to be able to dodge the Emerald Splash, and it's like, yeah, he's bragging. That's it. It doesn't mean
it's just his personality.
Yeah, it's just his personality. It's him being confident in his ability. He sets up this like several meter wide, I think 10 maybe, like tripwire thing, and he's like, if you take even one step, you'll get blasted to pieces. Dio screams the world, and before we see what happens, all we see is Dio scream the world, and then Kakuin goes flying into a water tower with a hole in his chest, and everybody's just like, Kakuin uses
like, the fuck?
Yeah, like, oh, what the fuck just happened? Kakuin uses the last of his stand's ability to blast a hole in a clock, and Joseph, who's the only one who actually witnesses it, is just like, what? Why would he do that? He must be trying to tell me something. It's almost, he blasted the clock, like time is almost stopped or something. He tries to run. Dio's just like, oh, get back here. Next slide. Yeah, so I put that in there of Dio just fucking exploding to show he is very much dead. He's gone.
As he's saying, I am Dio.
Yeah, because, okay, so there's a reason behind that. Because there's these red cracks spreading up his body. He is saying, like, this cannot possibly be. I cannot lose.
Yeah.
I am Dio. And then just explodes. And it's like, oh. And then they take whatever's left of his body, put it in the sunlight, watch it dissolve, and they're like, all right, he's done. He's done. He's done. Well, first they give him a blood they use Dio's body to give Joseph a blood transfusion and save his life.
That feels like a terrible idea, but
Jotaro was very, very ready to fucking kill Joseph if he twitched wrong. But then it's really funny because Joseph plays a prank on him when he shouldn't have. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Dio. I'm evil now." Jotaro is like winded up, ready to annihilate this man. He's like, "Kidding, kidding, kidding. Whoa." Jotaro's like, "How do I know it's really you? Who's your favorite comedian?" And Joseph goes, "Weird Al Yankovic." Yeah.
Of all the possible
Well, 'cause remember, he's supposed to be American. But also, it's funny hearing a Japanese man try to say Weird Al Yankovic. I think technically he just says Al Yankovic, but fair enough.
Of all the answers.
Hey, look, Joseph likes a silly guy. He really liked Amish Paradise. And that's where we'll stop because I did not get to part 4 in time. Yeah. So I'll at least give you the summary for now. A small town in Japan has a concerning serial killer problem. How many would you consider to be a concerning number of serial killers?
3.
Oh, hey, that's the exact number. There's 2 that get dealt with pretty early on, and then the main antagonist. Yeah. I love that you just get, well, technically, no, I wouldn't count him as a serial killer. Never mind. It is 3. Because he doesn't technically kill anybody. It's more like a serial attempted
The
murder.
gray area.
The gray area where, like, nobody ever dies, so, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it. That's what I was able to get to, because I realized how long, because we get even more stand users in part 4. Not as many returning characters, too. But like a lot of stands.
Yeah.
So it got
I
to a
could
point
see
where I
how
was
this
like,
was going to start taking forever because I could see that the plots are slightly starting to get more and more
part 4
complicated.
is weirdly like it is slightly lower than it's slightly lower than part 3 because it's like, oh, we got to stop this serial killer. But then part 5 is let's overthrow the Italian mafia, and you're like, there's a lot of stand users in that one. And then there's immediately after that, the priest is like everybody laughing until the priest start accelerating. There's a reason for that joke. That'll happen later. Also, the vampire is back, but not. It's one of his buddies and also his 3 additional sons. Part 7. Fuck the plot of part 7. I read it. It's really good. Top 3 manga of all time. But like, man, the plot gets crazy. And then part 8, where I don't know, man, I never even read it. Like I was like straight up going into uncharted territory. All I can tell you is the stands get harder and harder to explain.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
they
not
start doing
surprised.
funkier and funkier things, but they keep the music naming thing, so it's really funny because you'll get in the same part like a stand called like Master of Puppets,
Mm-hmm.
whose ability is like I can control people's left arm if I'm holding a glass of like orange juice on a Thursday in July and they're somehow a threat. And then you can also have a guy whose stand is like, you know, yellow submarine. If I can name any 5 prime numbers, your lungs explode. And he's just not a threat.
What the fuck?
That's not an actual. Those are not actual stands. I made them right the fuck up. But well,
the idea of just like, go yellow submarine, we all live in. That's just this man's lungs.
okay.
Fucking
To be
explode.
fair, because of part 8, we know that the songs that these guys are named after do exist, or at least in one dimension, because the main villain names his stand "Wonder of You" because he listens to the song "Wonder of You." So we know these songs exist, so I guess people are just fine that they're like, go
They
my
all-
stand,
That they all are just like, God, I love fucking music.
go my stand. I my name is John Lennon, and here is my stand. Women are the
Oh. And here's where I would be like, you had an entire discography to fucking choose from, and you choose this.
I still love that that's a John Lennon song. I know he explained why he named it that,
Yeah.
but like the explanation doesn't help because they still say the word about 40 plus times. It's still, I have the screenshot of that song, and it's. I also have one of just a picture of John Lennon, and it just says, "Hit it," like in quotes. Women are the like from. I can probably find it like lickety split. It's funny.
Uh,
All right, good stuff.
what did you think about this wonderful, wonderful lecture?
I completely forgot she was here. Xbox.